Gomashi Ablajifa, Jan Alexander, Jan Mensah Richard, Haruna Seidu, Ahmed, Ibrahima Zuwera Mohammed.
Every week of a meeting. So this one is not every day. Honorable members, we shall now proceed to recite the national pledge, which is set out in the fourth schedule of the standing orders and is at page 163. Very soon, I'm sure you learn it by rote, and you will not be referring to the sample on the order paper. May we do so now? I happily observe
the national pledge. It talks about the toil, through the toil and blood, through the blood and toil of our fathers. The speaker, it omits mothers. Mr. Speaker, the mothers also toiled for this country. And I don't, Mr. Speaker, I think that it is gender insensitive. This country, when we are even making reference to the country, we call it our motherland. But when it comes to the pledge, and we're referring to the toil, and we're referring to the fight, the struggles, we omit that of our mothers. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention to it, and we have to look at it again as a country, so that we become more gender sensitive when it comes to our national pledge. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The statement has been clearly stated, and it's wrong for us to only refer to fathers. We have to also add mothers. The same for the prayer. The prayer had really a difficulty in always leaving out the mothers. But that is what we have now. Now, in the case of the national pledge, I can only recommend that it be looked at nationally. I cannot, or the House cannot just amend it. That is a national, that one is a national decision. So we have to look at it. If we have good response from our people, we can easily amend it here. With the prayer, is our own, even though two persons did their rendition of the prayer and added the two. That's why we have it this way. I thought that we could take the opportunity to look at it and then refine it. That one is left to the House. We don't need to debate this one. We have to be gender sensitive. Yes, Honorable Dr.
Mr. Speaker, the way as we say our motherland, and we've never protested, because the motherland is also generic.
Honorable, this is not, there's no problem with that. Let's go on. Please, honorable members, I think we need to welcome you. It's proper that the leaders should welcome you. And I formally open the first meeting of the fourth session of the 8th Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. I warmly welcome every one of you back from a long recess. I'm sure the recess has energized you physically and mentally for the task ahead. I also believe that during the recess, you engaged your constituents, listened to their concerns, and gained a deeper appreciation of the issues affecting them. Such engagement reinforces the connection between the electorate and their representatives. Honorable members, Parliament today manifests the strength of our democratic values and our commitment to the electorate. Being the first hung parliament in Ghana's history, honorable members, hung is spelled H-U-N-G. It's not H-A-N-G, H-U-N-G, hung parliament in Ghana's history. It highlights our resilience in the face of challenges. This House's composition has transformed how business is conducted within these hallowed walls and has necessitated a consensus-driven approach, dialogue, and cooperation across party lines. This departure from the traditional majoritarian system ushered in a new era where every voice counts. The willingness of members to seek common ground and prioritize our nation's welfare above all else in
2024. Speaker, the committee accordingly submits its report as follows. The Speaker may read any formal communication available to the House. The Speaker, given that the Business Committee met only yesterday to program business for this week, it was almost impractical for members to be scheduled to respond to questions on such short notice. So, Minister of State will be scheduled to, in subsequent weeks, to respond to questions as relating to public affairs with which they are officially connected. Speaker, pursuant to Order 91 Sub 2, Minister of State may be permitted to make statements on government policy. You may also admit statements to be made in the House by members in accordance with Order 93. Speaker, bills may be presented to the House for the first reading.
I wish to use this opportunity to congratulate those of us who had the opportunity to secure the mandate to contest as parliamentary candidates for our respective political parties in the elections of the December 2024. For members of Parliament who could not secure the ticket to be parliamentary candidates, I wish to assure all of you that your contribution in Ghana's Parliament will forever be remembered. I also wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Mr. Speaker, let me shift my attention to some very important issues which have become a matter of concern and have consequences of our elections and ramifications for the peace and security of our dear country. Right, Honorable Speaker, the announcement by the Electoral Commission that it is doing away with indelible ink from the electoral processes must be of great concern to all of us in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, this announcement by the Electoral Commission constitutes an attack on the integrity of Ghana's electoral process and poses a great danger
Honorable
to our country.
May I interrupt you? Just resume your seat for a few minutes.
199, it's 495 out of the total vote of 785. So clearly, based on this resource and based on this ballot that has been counted by EC and the ridiculous attitude that has been shown by the other partner or the unknown person who came and destroyed everything, which the police people are on course to investigate, and the person will be arrested and come to book. So the EC has, the EC, we didn't even find the EC. All the ECs have run away. Look at the time. We have waited till 6 now. We didn't see EC because the EC has been beaten mercilessly. One of the eyes of the EC has spoiled. So, and therefore, based on this result that we had, encountered by the EC, we have declared Alhaji Faruku the new patriotic party, led by Alhaji Masaudu Osman, the national third vice chairman, with the regional chairman, Chairman Samba. We have stand by our national secretariat, which is led by our General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodia, and declare Alhaji Farouk as the parliamentary candidate elect.
Honorable Regional Minister, all protocol duly observed. My team and I, we are very glad to be here in this glorious occasion. I'll start by introducing my team. I have my returning officer, Elvis Koka, here, and I have my two deputies, James Bele Ire. I hope my pronunciation is getting better. Bele Ire. Yes, he's a deputy returning officer. And I have Peter Abraham. Yes, he's also a deputy returning officer. These are the abled men I work with to help us have successful elections in this constituency. So thank you very much. And myself, I'm Mr. Isaac Akoto Dako. I'm the officer, district officer, election officer for Nandom. Municipal election officer. Thank you. So I've enjoyed my stay so far working with all of you in this municipal, and thank you for your cooperation all the time. I don't have the opportunity to express my gratitude, but today I'll use the opportunity to express my gratitude. Thank you all. All right. You know, for a moment, as a referee, when I picked the mic, I was tempted to say Kukrudu. But as a referee, you know, I have to play by the rules. Yeah, so I pretend. And thank you for your cooperation all the time. I don't have the opportunity to express my gratitude, but today I'll use the opportunity to express my gratitude. Thank you all. All right. You know, for a moment, as a referee, when I picked the mic, I was tempted to say Kukrudu. But as a referee, you know, I have to play by the rules. Yeah, so I pretend. Okay, so my job here is very simple. We are here to acclaim the
Where's the food?
As a Democrat and as a party stalwart in this party, I believe that democracy is part of the party's rules. Competition is part of the MPP, and I'll always stand by any person who competes with me in this party. We had a very successful elections on a Saturday. After 2 p.m., sorting was done. And Mr. Randy, I believe you're a senior colleague, and having been in the political annals of this country, when they sort out every polling paper that is supposed to be counted, immediately before even starting counts, everybody knows what and who wins at that stage before even counting it's done. Immediately that was done, my sister, the CEO of Maslow, panicked and woke up, and they had to restrain her to sit down. Then counting started, we started 100, we got to 200, we got to 96. Then the brother to Abiba Toshani Mama woke up, entered into the perimeter to question the EC on why the EC was holding the sister's ballot papers and trumpeting on it. And said, where's the evidence? Then it was established that it wasn't so. Quickly, he slapped and assaulted the EC officer with a swollen face and disrupted the process. By then, my 296 had been counted and established. The remaining one uncounted was more than 200, which was held and taken and whisked away by the Director of Elections and the police regional commander with myself to the police station. So I'm a bit surprised that my opponent's brother, who rather assaulted an EC officer who has made a police case and made a case against my Abibate's brother, has now turned to be the MP for Yendi, is the one who is being assaulting journalists. There are more than 20 journalists who are in Yendi. How come one person alone is saying that the member of parliament has assaulted him? And it's a bit surprising. If you, indeed you have that evidence, you could firstly go to the police station, report to the police. The police were there at the glare of the police commander, the regional commander, everybody was there. So how come that I would rather be the person attacking and slapping and assaulting a journalist? That's a very unfortunate situation, and it's a regrettable situation. And I want to plead with the journalist that he should be decorous and professional in whatever he's doing, because as a member of parliament, I would never engage in any media war with anybody, having known that the media is a partner for the development of this country. As a Democrat and as a party stalwart in this party, I believe that democracy is part of the party's rules. Competition is part of the MPP, and I'll always stand by any person who competes with me in this party. We had a very successful elections.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Good morning. Thank you very much for tuning in to Metro TV this morning. And this is Good Morning Ghana. We are live from our studios here at Rage in Accra. We are live on your DSTV channel 277. And we are live on our Facebook pages, Good Morning Ghana. On all social media pages, you can follow us and comment, send in your comments, send in your tweets. You can follow me as well at Kwesi Efri on Twitter and Chairman Kwesi Efri on all other social media platforms. Let me say a special good morning to you, Dr. Randy Abbey, wherever you are. Of course, my name is Kwesi Efri, and I'm sitting in for Dr. Randy Abbey. I'll quickly run through the stories on the front pages this morning. When I am done, I'll take a quick break, and then right after that, we get into the discussions for the morning. I begin with that of the Daily Graphic, and on the front page of the Daily Graphic, you have rent scheme benefits 1,492 tenants. 19 million Ghana cedis disbursed to 6 regions. That's according to the Minister for Housing, for Works and Housing, Honorable Francis Asenso Boachi. Government, Chinese Forge Infrastructure Delivery Partnership, and PAC orders MOFA to pay bird flu affected farmers. University union strike over unresolved grievances. That's the Daily Graphic news paper. The Ghanaian Times. The Ghanaian Times. Tragedy. 7 die, 4 injured in gory accident. Fuel tanker runs over minibus on Accra in Sewam Road. Upper East Regional Minister fumes over shoddy work. Snail pace of execution of projects threatens to abrogate contracts. National Rental Assistance Scheme government disburses 19 million Ghana cedis to 1,492 beneficiaries. Trial of former Cecilia Dapa's house helps adjourned to the 8th of March. And that's the Ghanaian Times newspaper, the Ghanaian Times. Daily Guide. Daily Guide. MPs recite national pledge and undergo daily roll call. So you have the Speaker, Obam Babin, on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper here. Kaswa Meda, I have no idea how victim died. That's according to the accused. 7 killed in Amasaman in Sewam Road accident. Excessive partnership kills democracy, according to the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Alban Sumanu Babin. Forgive them. They don't know the power of love. Court tells Professor Fubi, and this is captured by the Daily Guide newspaper. The New Crusading Guide. Bawumia at it again. He'll daze NDC with bold, it is possible vision today. Commemorating 150 years of Sagarenti War, Dichum launches book on history of Ashanti, and as exit from ECOWAS will be impactful, SMG. The story is found on pages 3 and 10 of the paper. Ebra traditional area, Nana Utu hauled before Central Regional House of Chiefs for allegedly desecrating stool. And then GJA, Giba, Pinpark, and MFWA blackout on Yendi MP for assaulting reporter. That's the New Crusading Guide. The Insight newspaper. Crisis in ECOWAS. SMG salutes Sahel states, blasts ECOWAS neo-colonial interest. And you have a cross-section of the ECOWAS leaders on the front page of the paper here. United Voices for Change calls for dismissal of Kokobot CEO. Professor Opukwajiman Agbedapi, others unveil NDC campaign slogan, voice out, vote out. And you have a logo of the voice out, vote out also on the front page here. Ex-Ivorian leader Laurent Gbagbo's party slams ECOWAS heads over crisis in organization. In 25 years in revolution, Venezuela's historical turn towards sovereignty and justice. This is the Insight newspaper. The Informer. Chief of Staff foments trouble, emboldens NSA boss to counter Minister's directive. And towards the 2024 general elections, Bawumia shares vision with Ghanaians. Of course, today, leave good legacy. Yana advises Mahama. Decision to reshuffle DC is not political. That's according to the Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Honorable Daniel Kweku Buchi. And in this issue, expedite action on gay affirmative bill. Speaker urges MPs, and that's the informer newspaper, The Herald. The Herald. Bawumia boys worried at governments and popular policies, but confident. Major General upon paper touts projects, but fails to provide costs and others. City FM, City TV hands over, City TV, not TVs, hands over resettlement centers, and Attorney General's star witness exposed by hidden Craig letter to or at Kokobot trial. Esla Owusu's $150 million Airtel Tigo sale to British national under scrutiny. This is the Herald newspaper. The Daily Statesman. The Daily Statesman. Losing experienced MPs worrying. Speaker urges NPP NDC to do something about situation. IMF, Ghana's bailout program effectively implemented. And Primpa backs GGA's media blackout on Farouk. Free SHS reduces teenage pregnancy HIV infections by 50%. And this is according to Dr. Tremi Etuahini, who is the director of the Ghana AIDS Commission. Kinsley Krugu urges non-politicization of Boko conflicts, and that's the Daily Statesman newspaper. The Ghanaian publisher. The Ghanaian publisher. Ghana awaits Bawumia's next chapter. Jinapo Woos Mining Investors touts Ghana as Africa's mining hub. IMF advises Ghana to stick to $3 billion loan plan. What drives personal brand? Muhammad Ali writes, Banda MP worried over declining experience in parliament, and that's the Ghanaian publisher newspaper. The Custodian. The Custodian. The Custodian. Drop emission levy. Fomadeg to government. NDC wolves attack Bentel over Bawumia. So NDC wolves attack Bentel over Bawumia. And we have Mr. Kofi Bentel, Vice President of Imani Africa here, and Dr. Bawumia also here. Kwesi Yanka writes, Asenso Boache, son of Kunkunte Sela, Parliament starts mandatory roll call. That's the Custodian newspaper. The Finder. The Finder. Well, so that's the new Finder. Heads of state institutions to be hauled before Parliament. Fomi Dag or DEG demands withdrawal of emission levy. Swollen shoe disease destroys 500,000 hectares of cocoa farms. Ghana is best for mining. Jinapo makes compelling case to investors. And that's the new Finder newspaper. The Daily Post. Daily Post. Daily Post has my boss on the front page here, Dr. Randy Abbey. And the story is saying, if Bawumia is not responsible for anything, how is he the best vice president? So, doctor is asking a question to the managers of the vice president. So he says that if Bawumia is not responsible for anything, how is he the best vice president? We associate ourselves with Mahama's stand against LGBTQ+, says Federation of Muslim Councils, and we will not accept elimination of indelible link from electoral process. Minority Leader Honorable Atoforsen says so, and that's the Daily Post newspaper. I'll pick just two other newspapers from here, and we have the Daily Searchlight. The Daily Searchlight says, can Bawumia answer his 170 questions or statements to Mr. Arthur? Well, that's a question from the daily satellite newspaper, IMF warns Ghana use the 3 billion loan wisely. So that's the daily satellite newspaper. It says BSG urges Ghanaians to exhibit Christ-like attitudes before and after 2024 general elections. And Metro Lens says Ghana, second most peaceful country in Africa. That's according to a survey. MPs to recite national pledge before proceedings quell chaos. The Pong chief comments police professionalism. And Baumia speaks today. So that does it for the stories on the front pages of the newspapers for us this morning. I'll take a quick break. Be reminded that this is Good Morning Ghana. When we are back, we get straight into the discussions. My guests are already seated here. Stay with us.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Hey, what's up?
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
Actually, I'm on a line.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in your office when you can just download the app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Please, Seth, I'm starting work next month.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The Pacho Bantama.
Machase.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Cal
360 did the work. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance, and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ekropong. Our properties are conveniently located, providing a tranquil atmosphere, top-notch security, and essential amenities such as electricity, water, and backup generators. Our strategic locations offer easy access to popular tourist destinations, all within a 30-minute drive from Accra. Visit us in Ekropon right after the Latte Junction, or in Ebri near the Ebri Girls Senior High School. Alternatively, you can reach us Kingdom Home Real Estate, where your dream home becomes a reality.
Everything 12 January, I got him say about Afcon every year. My Afcon and Soja call. I won't fear. Hisense TV, Afcon TV, and a sound system. Yatisu say who? A Hisense Afcon double promo. The best you Afcon beer. I love Afcon beer. Can you clear our Hisense and the Afcon TV so? Sadam Yeda. That's a commentary. Nusu Chagua. Clear our Hisense sound system so. Bora Hisense showroom bia. Na ube usa ya TV and a sound system so. Esan Afcon inti. Sa uta dia wa Hisense ya. Wasumu Jones. Hisense nkwana ma 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Sa Afcon radio. Yama nije no anya double. If you say Hisense mo hama mo. Hisense. Yede wanna to football so. Esan football inti.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
And you might see.
These adverts have been vetted and approved by
the biggest car center in Ghana, offering unparalleled round-the-clock service in autos and accessories. Nadam Autofix is the biggest distributors of used tires in Ghana, offering first-grade second-hand car tires of all rim sizes at both wholesale and retail prices. We are also the leading name in car sensor diagnostics, corrections and sales of car accessories. We excel in car washing and detailing with state-of-the-art steam engine washing machines that keep water away from your engine, ensuring a clean, healthy and responsive engine. Nadam Autofix, the first name in servicing, car accessories and car washing. Visit us today and experience the world of class difference. Find us today at Asoridaho, directly opposite Dansoman KFC and the Shell filling station. For more details, you can call us on 0503 244 266 or 0535 339823. Nadam Autofix, Wukwansu Nyonko Papa.
You're welcome back from the break. This is still Good Morning Ghana. Let me quickly run you through some IDs of our sponsors, and then I'll come straight into the studio and go on to the discussion. MTN Momo says, imagine getting rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. Sounds good, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo season is all about. There is something for everyone. Download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant, either through a QR code or a merchant ID, and stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. Our merchants are also not left out of the reward. Receive payments and win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So what are you doing today? Transact more with Momo Pay, earn more points, and win big this Momo season. Visit momomerchantapplication.com or .mtn.com.gh. Take note, momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh for your Momo for Business account today. It's Momo season, so just Momo it with Momo Pay. Terms and conditions apply. Now we say brushing your kids' teeth sometimes become difficult due to resistance because of the taste of the toothpaste available to them. Use Kale Kids toothpaste flavored with strawberry that gives a perfect taste for kids and makes them develop a personal attitude and love of brushing their teeth always. Kale Kids toothpaste protects child's gum, prevents cavities, and make the teeth strong and healthy with freshness all day. Kale Kids toothpaste is recommended for children between 2 and 6 years old. A product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Saso, and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA. Kale Kids, happy smile. Lifts and elevators. Enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages. But worry no more. Lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It is a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It is affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lifts and Elevators at Sakumono or just call them on 0200-535-515 or send a mail to elevators@gmail.com for consultations and best solutions in easy vertical movements. Now they say who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. Amin Scientific and Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital is organizing a free health screening now for the general public. This is a way of saying thank you to Ghanaians. What's rewarding than this? The free screening includes fertility test, prostate, stroke, diabetes, hypertension, fibroid, ulcers, hepatitis B, and many more. Note, the medical screening is free, but patients with disease conditions will pay a token for their medications. Visit us at Domi, near Senate Flats, Down or Klagon, near Ashaiman and Bridge, and all our other branches across the country. You can call Amin Scientific on 020-722-9505 or 0244-227192 to book your appointments. Amin Scientific and Alternative Medical Hospital, Allah Shafi, God is the healer. Let me come back to the studio now, and I told you my guests are already seated. I'll introduce from my immediate left. My immediate left is my very own boss, Kwesi Pratt Jr., the managing editor of the Insight newspaper. Kwesi, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
And then Daniel. Well, he's also my boss. He's been my boss since 2009. Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover. He's the Chief Executive Officer, Valco, and former Member of Parliament for the Tema East constituency. Honorable, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. And I hope you're doing well as well.
Yes. Good.
Kwesi, I would want to begin this one with you, and I'll go straight to the statement which has been released, a joint statement by GJA, GIBA, MFWA, Primpack, and delivered by the president of GJA. They say we should black out the entire media on Farouk, on the occasion of the altercation between him and the City FM journalist. So we've seen the video, we've seen the stories in the front pages, and I'm sure you've seen the story in the video as well.
Yeah, but I don't see how, excuse me, what happened can be described in any way as an altercation between the journalist and the member of parliament. The journalist was assaulted, and it was captured on camera. You understand? There's no doubt at all that he received a slap from the honorable member of parliament, you know. There's not an altercation, it's a case of assault.
Assault, right.
And I am shocked, you know, by the silence of responsible institutions on this matter. First of all, Parliament could bring him before the Privileges Committee to give him an opportunity to defend himself and to apply sanctions as determined by Parliament. Parliament has failed to do so. The police could arrest him for assault, you know, charge him and put him before the courts. The police has refused to do so, in spite of the fact that a police officer was also assaulted in the melee which ensued. Then, of course, there is the New Patriotic Party to which he belongs, which could also apply sanctions. And the New Patriotic Party has conveniently not applied sanctions, you know, as would be expected of any decent political party which has a commitment, you know, to the preservation of press freedom and so on. It does appear that it is only the media organizations, you know, which want to take some action. And the media organizations have recommended a complete boycott of this member of parliament. I'm in agreement with the media organizations. I'm in full agreement with the media organizations. And I think that journalists and media personnel ought to act together when it comes to such issue in defense of the rights of journalists. You understand? So I'm in full support of what the Ghana Journalists Association has done. However, even though the Ghana Journalists Association has taken this initiative and called for a boycott, it does not prevent other institutions from doing what is expected of them. And I want to see Parliament take action on this matter because of all the pretensions around Parliament. Parliament is a law-making organization and therefore is expected to uphold the law. Parliament as a forum, you know, of the people's representatives ought to be interested in the preservation of rights and so on. So I expect Parliament to do something about this. And I expect Parliament to do something about this also because we now have a speaker, you know, who has a law background and who has for a long time been an advocate of human rights, especially the rights, you know, of the media and so on. So I expect Parliament to act. It's not too late for Parliament to act. Of course I expect the New Patriotic Party to act, given all the claims that the party has made about its commitment to the protection, or if you like, the preservation of the multi-party democratic order and the rights of citizens and so on. To be so strange if the New Patriotic Party does not sanction this member of parliament, you know. And above all, I expect the police to act. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Here is a case where a police officer was assaulted in the process. I mean, what What statement is the police making by its inaction? You know, how are police officers going to go out there and do their work diligently and so on if they cannot be protected by their own institution? So I expect the police, you know, to also act in this manner. Finally, I'm completely disgusted by public office holders, you know, who actually engage in assault of persons that they disagree with. It's so disgusting, it's unbelievable. So very disgusting. And this country has a very bad history. You understand? I mean, not too long ago, we lost one of our colleagues, and I'm talking about Ahmed Suare. Up to today, there are no indications of who carried out that attack which led to his death. And I'm very, very worried about the fact that the Ahmed Suare case has not been brought to closure. There are many other cases. There was one case in Kumasi and so on. Recently, there was a case of assault against the Cape FM, you know, correspondent and so on. I'm getting very, very deeply worried, you know, about these, if you like, these senseless attacks, you know, on media personnel. And I want to see action taken as quickly as possible.
The Honorable Farouk has issued a statement through a video. You've seen the video, saying that the action didn't take place.
Well,
and requesting that the police, the City FM journalists should have at least reported to the police or gotten to the law enforcement agencies.
Well, I've just read the statement of the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, and the claim is that this happened on camera. You understand? That the assault took place on camera. And if that claim is correct, of course, then the evidence is there. You understand? And the fact that you do not report assault to the police does not mean that it is not actionable. You understand? The police doesn't act only when complaints are made to it. It acts based on its own knowledge of situations and so on. And I think that this matter should be very seriously investigated, and punishment should be dished out, you know, as quickly as possible to act as a deterrent to high-ranking public officers and even low-ranking public officers who are beginning to play God in the political space.
Honorable, let me come to you. So, DGA says we should black out on Farouk and all of the matters that are arising on that one.
Good morning. Every year, good morning to my big brother. I feel quite worried that when I see and hear journalists being attacked, without journalists, we can't know what is going on. They are playing their independent role to let us actually appreciate the work that everybody is doing in this country and across the world. You watch international media, see journalists in the thick of war talk about Christina Mampo. Big names in the media space, making sure to bring to the fore what is happening across the globe, to let us be informed as to the true picture that is going on. It will come to our own backyard in our own country, where you see journalists being attacked, being molested, and this is not the first time. Big brother sitting here from the days of the revolution, when journalists were being bundled, thrown into jail, all kinds of harassment, intimidation, and so. In 2014, 2015, prior to the 2016 elections, my own sister, Efia Pukuya, was mercilessly beaten when she went to cover a program. I can go on and on and on and on and on, But the bottom line is that we have no right at all to touch the hair of any journalist, even when you even disagree with that journalist. But this journalist, what has he done? There is an exercise that he went to cover. And out of the coverage, if this is what has been done to him, I condemn in no uncertain terms. I condemn it. And the regional party in the north, I expect them at least to say something. The communication director from here, I'll call him, my brother Richard, at least to reach this gentleman, to really find out what really happened. And when you read the text, at the point it tells you that the commander, police commander who led the police to cover the elections, was equally attacked. This is unacceptable. Every year, a peace officer who has gone to protect all of us, and when you attack the police officer and the colleagues around, when you prepare to come and defend their commander, it will lead to a different thing. I want to plead with our party supporters. In the midst of all tensions, we must learn to hold ourselves together, because attacking journalists is going to go to solve the problem. Because the stakes were so high between the two candidates in the yearly elections. Ajabi Bata and the city MP Farouk. The stakes was so high. So I am equally worried. And when I was coming, I heard your DJ president granting interview to Adum FM CJ, narrating the incident and to the fact that it has been captured on camera. So because I'm not privy to all these facts, it will be very, very unfair on my part, to make commentary on what has happened. The member of parliament is equally not here. We are listening to the other side of the GJ, what they have said. You just mentioned that he said he had something, the MP had something to say, or you just mentioned it.
Yes. We actually played it this
morning. To react to what has happened. There's a need for us to really look at all these two things and to make sure that we'll get the truth out of that. But I will not support anybody trying to attack or beat up any journalist, because it is not in the interest of this country to be seeing some of these things at all. We need them. They also need us. They are doing their role to make sure that they bring things to the fore for everybody to see what is happening. But whoever touched him, and because he touched about Parliament, I've been in the House for 8 years. I served in the appointment committee for 8 years. I was a deputy ranking member for the Committee of Trade, Industry and Tourism, and later became the chairman of that same Committee of Trade, Industry and Tourism, member holding Office of Profits. All these committees, they have the roles that they play. And the GJ president is saying that he should be hauled before a parliamentary committee. That is fair. At least for him to be heard. The journalist who was attacked can be invited. The police commander can equally be invited to give evidence of really what really happened, so that we'll be able to nip in the bud some of these things that has been happening to our journalists. As to prosecution, it is the right of the individual who was attacked and the GJ themselves. It is their own right to pursue any course of action that they want to do. When I read the text, one part of the text, the DJ president was saying that there were some cases that have been sent to court against journalists for no justification. Every year, in as much as we are condemning the attack on journalists, it is equally important that some of these journalists must also be mindful the kind of things that they say. You sit back, and sometimes when you hear some people behind the console, the kind of vulgar words, the kind of things they say, you sit back and you ask yourself, Is that the tenets of the ethos of journalism? And the kind of things that they pour out. Some threatening, some all kinds of things. Because we're in a democracy, and you only write to the media commission, people get up and do whatever they like. I don't think it is all right. In as much as the GGA president is condemning the attack on his colleagues, we're all supporting that nobody should attack journalists. He must also find a way on those charlatans around the media stations who have been all kinds of things. It isn't welcoming. The fact that you are sitting behind the console, you can attack Kwesi Pratt, you can attack Zinkwate, but when I'm rebutting, then you tell me what? We are trampling on your rights. Oh, so you have the right to attack Akufo-Addo as the president, Dr. Bawumia as the vice president, and John Mahama as the former president. But if they want to defend themselves, then there's no freedom in the media space. I totally disagree. And these kinds of people behind the console and the kind of journalism that they are practicing. I was a trained stringer. I report to the TUC paper. Those is when I was in the trade unions. I was taught, but Yabodo Iwaf, late Mr. Maibo, the general manager for Ghana News Agency. That is not how we do our journalism. You have equal reportage. But these days, the kind of journalism and broadcasting that we're doing, I don't think they're professionals. So the DJ must open their eyes wide and do a fair assessment of the media space, the way it is being run, and call their people to order. If you are able to do this, then I can say that yes, the DJ is up the tax. But I condemn in all certain terms the attack on the City FM journalists and any other journalist that has been attacked. Parliament can do their work, the police administration can do their work, but the gentleman in question, he has every right to institute any legal action against anybody for doing that thing to him.
Right. Yes.
Before we bring closure to this topic, you see, no amount of irresponsible journalism can warrant slappings and beatings. You understand? I mean, it is not proper. It is unlawful to resort to slapping and kicking, as a response to irresponsible journalism. Look, let's be honest. It's not everything that I hear on radio and see on television and read in the newspapers that I'm comfortable about. You understand? I mean, and that's a fact. But, my brother, check all other divisions in our country, all other departments in our country, all other spheres of life in our country. Are you happy? You are not happy. With some of our health institutions and some of our health practitioners. We are not happy with some of our policemen. We are not happy with some of our soldiers. We are even more unhappy with many of our politicians. Should we go around beating them up? We shouldn't. Yes, sir. If you have set this standard for journalists, then we might as well extend it to everybody. If you don't do your work well, if you are unethical, then we come and catch you and beat you up. That's the law of the jungle. And I don't think that we should encourage that at all. That's number one. You understand? Now, the second most important point for me, and I'm happy that all three of us this morning sitting around this table have some journalistic experience and are also been observing, the journalistic space. The most infractions, who commits them? People sponsored by the political parties. If you're talking about insults and so on, I can assure you that about 90% of the insults you find in the media are from people sponsored by the political parties and political party leaders themselves. They are the people who are smearing, our practice. Look, it's become now fashionable for political parties to establish troll gangs. All the political parties, they have troll gangs. So we can have an innocent conversation around this table. The Trogans will come at you with all kinds of allegations, with all kinds of insults, and so on, defamatory statements and so on. They are sponsored directly by the political parties. They pay them. They give them telephones and SIM cards to be able to carry out this outrage, against all norms of decency and so on. So sometimes, when I hear major political actors and so on complain about lack of decency in the media and so on, I just cringe, I just cringe. Because they are the authors of those, uncomfortable situations in the media.
Right, thank you. So, Honorable, you wanted to make a statement, but let me come to you on this one. Then maybe you when you get in, you can just get onto the topic.
Allow him to make his statement.
Okay, go ahead.
And then let's finish with this topic.
I don't know where Kwesi had this information that politicians are behind some people to attack other people. Me, I don't do such things. Maybe what he knows, I don't know. But I don't think that is how we run this country. Character assassination. You are a coward. You go and hide behind console. I don't know the kinds of research that they do because they have opportunity to sit behind the cameras and the microphones and they feel they knows everything. But hey, that is not how we run a country. Confront me head on. If you think what you have, confront me. But where I don't have access to your platform and you can go haywire and do all kinds of funny things, if I have the opportunity, I'll respond. But sometimes silence is golden. Sometimes silence is golden. What kind of attack that these days the NDC has not been attacking the vice president? I was watching Fifi Kwete on social media, and the attack. We'll get to the discussion of the vice president today, and the NDC, they have opportunity to promote their candidate, and when somebody is promoting Dr. Bawumia, there is a problem. Then people begin to insult, incessant attacks on the vice president. Is he not also born of a woman? But clearly, what I'm saying is that if you want to do proper journalism, genuine journalism, the GJA must be up and doing. I appreciate their president. I appreciate the national executive, the regional executive, and all the district executives. They have a Herculean task. But it is our duty also as politicians to help the journalism profession to grow. I will not go and attack any journalist. I will not. But if there should be any journalist who want to do something, I equally have the right to defend myself.
Right.
I don't think that anybody would have issue with any public figure defending himself when he's under attack. But how do you defend yourself? Do you defend yourself by employing hooligans to beat up people? Do you defend yourself by dishing out slaps and kicks and so on? I mean, that's the issue, you understand? I think it's also important to make a distinction between disagreeing with public personalities and behaving in an ethical manner towards them. If the vice president comes out and makes a statement, and the statement does not hold together, it's not rational, doesn't hold together rationally and so on, every citizen has a right to point out that what the vice president is saying is not rational. That's not an attack. You understand? The vice president as vice president is subject to public scrutiny, and every citizen has a right to scrutinize whatever he says. Right. Now, I was surprised that my brother and longtime friend, Titus, is doubting that political parties finance these hoodlums who are causing mayhem in the media. Why? Haven't you heard about serial callers going on strike? You have never heard about serial callers going on strike? Because they are not being adequately paid.
Resourced.
Or they are not being well resourced as well.
To be able to make their calls.
Exactly. That's the clearest indication that these parties have troll gangs. You know. What other evidence do you need that parties are involved in this kind of dirty game?
All right, so the agreement should be that under no circumstance should you attack a journalist who is especially on duty.
Attack anybody for expressing themselves.
Well, attack anybody for. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Expressing themselves.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me go on to the next one, and we're all expecting His Excellency the Vice President to be talking today at the UPSA about his vision, his policies, if he's given the nod to become the president after the election on the 7th of December 2024. And there has been so much expectations and anticipation, so much conversation going on around it. Honorable, I'll begin this one with you, and I would allow you to flow. What you are expecting and what should we be expecting from His Excellency the Vice President today? He says he's his own man, he has his own vision. There's been a lot talk about how the economy is going now and who is responsible for it. And my boss asked a question which has been featured in the Daily Post that I was talking about, that some of the people defending or speaking for the Vice President have said that, well, he's just the Vice President. If the President is not there, that's when he gets the opportunity to act. He's not the Finance Minister to do any implementation on finance issues. He's not the Agri Minister to implement planting for food and jobs. He puts up the idea, and then the ministers in charge actually do the implementation. So he's not to be blamed if planting for food and jobs doesn't go well, but he has the idea. He's doing innovation, digitization, and he says, if you are not in charge, why are you the best Vice President? But what are we expecting from him today? So all in all.
Kwesi said that if the Vice President makes some comment or statement that people are not happy with, they have the right to criticize or say their mind. I have no problem there. If I tell you, if I make a statement and you disagree with me, and you come with a counter that it's stronger than what I say, I have no problem. But where it becomes a design, orchestrated design, to attack the persona, I have a problem with it. And the name of Dr. Bawumia sent shivers in the spines of the NDC. And all those who are communicating for the NDC, right around from JDM to their parachekis, their national officers, everybody. Oh, they have the right to speak for John Mahama, to promote him. But should anybody get up and speak on behalf of the Vice President, they have a problem? Recently, look at the way they have treated, what do you call it? Our brother Kofi Bental, for expressing his view that he would prefer the Vice President to John Mahama. Look at the way they took him to the cleaners. I have a problem with it. His Excellency the Vice President is born of a woman. Today, the politics of the North has changed. The NDC wins from 92, from the Northern region, from the Volta region, in the Zangos. So today, the geopolitics of our country, the politics of the North has shifted. And the NDC is seeing danger and they are seeing defeat. They've done study upon study upon study, and they've realized that the presence of Dr. Bawumia, the Vice President, is a threat to John Mahama in the North. And the Northern region will decide the votes. So all these things that they are doing, they mount on rostrums and platforms to attack the Vice President, we are not worried. The Vice President is focused, and God willing today, he will give his vision. But John Mahama said, there's no way MPP can elect the Vice President to lead our party. Did he say that? Today, by the grace of God, he has been elected. Not because he's from the north, but because we believe he has the capacity and the competence to lead us to victory in 2024. So they can go on and say all kinds of things. There's Sami Jenfis, there's Sam George, the Felice Kwachi, and everything. They can go ahead. But the vice president is quiet, focused, and today, God willing, I'm inviting Kwesi to come to be part of it and observe. Maybe he's busy somewhere. I know he'll be in his corner and be watching from afar to piece in whatever he's going to say. But because I don't know exactly what is going to come out of it, maybe I can tease some few things out. I've not grown much, but I came to meet His Excellency Digab Johnson, the Vice President of Dr. Hila Liman. May their souls rest in peace. I've not grown much, but I came to meet His Excellency Aka in the NDC-1 under Rawlings. May their soul rest in peace. I have not grown much. In President Rawlings' second term, I saw the performance of Professor Mills. May his soul also rest in peace. Aliu Mahama, may his soul rest in peace. We saw the role of then Vice President John Mahama and Ms. Hatta. I am bold and confident to say that all these great men of this land, their roles as Vice President, when you compare what Dr. Bawumia has done, is unmatched. And why do I say this? Because the Constitution has defined the role of what the Vice President should do. He's just a mate. He's a helping hand. The power to run this country is in the hands of the President. And he will delegate some rules to you. But if you are very, very sharp and you want to create a niche for yourself, there's a need to look around and see what role can I also play. In a way, you are supporting the President to deliver on the mandate that the people of this country has given to him. Every year, I've been a member of Parliament. In my first 2013 to 7 January 2017, before they come into free SHS, if I tell people that line up in my house, my mother's house, my office in Parliament, just for support to go and pay school fees, you will shock. 60% of my common fund I dedicate to support education. 60%. And you have a vice president who can support his president to come up with this innovative, this social intervention idea to support parents for free education. Then that vice president needs to be commended. Because they said we could not do it. The NDC sponsored adverts telling people that free education is a no-no. We can even implement it after 10 years. But it takes the boldness of a vice president and the sitting president to make sure they initiate that thing. Today, go and see, averagely over 400,000 children are denied access to classroom. 400,000 children. So for 8 years, that NDC, you can imagine the number of children that have been thrown to the streets because the children are poor. Today, somebody is in Chichuluga, you know Chichuluga? It's in Bulsa North, can have access to Mahama Mata Presec in Lagos, so long as he can pass. Somebody can have access to Tamale Secondary School, Ganata, Vanspen, a poor son in Enchi, Amonie, can have access because you have a president and the vice president who can think outside the box. The human capital of our children is what is important. I would prefer to sit under a tree to be educated than to walk to the streets that I'm not going to get education to do. So today, I will expect that in his presentation, because he has his vision, because he's a flag bearer, he's the face of our party come 2024. He needs to do something extraordinary, distinct from what his boss has done. Because he must work in his own space to know that, yes, indeed, I am the flag bearer, I am leading MPP, and this is what I'm going to do. And sometimes you listen to the NDC, and they say that he's running away from the economy. he's talking about digitization. Who told you that digitization and economy does not work together? Who told you that? Digitization is the current, what do you call it, the norm in this world. So you can't say that because he's an economy, he's not speaking on the economy, he's not running away from going to digitization. Who told you that? So I expect him to stress more. When he got to the port, he came to, when I was the deputy minister, at the Labadi Beach Hotel, when we launched this, I've forgotten this program, single window. When you want to have access, because you have one particular platform where all agencies in the clearing industry,
the paperless port.
The paperless port. Thank you. The paperless port. To digitization. That you see people carrying large sums of money going to the bank to go and what? To deposit money. They have been attacked by armed robbers all over. You can sit in the comfort of your office and the press of the button. You can make payment to any of the banks that are working with GRA. Mobile money operability. Look at the number of transactions that people are doing on mobile phones. Look at the drones. I remember when he brought these drones, the idea that drones have been flying to deposit drugs, essential drugs and blood to patients across the country. What did they say about him? But all these things, I think that when you sit down as a vice president, I feel humbled. And I think that it is important we give an opportunity to lead this country. What even kills me is about his humility. His humility and service. And the fact that he's ever ready to listen. That alone is a trump card. So, yes, there have been certain challenges in the running of the economy. If you host your economic shows on your programs.
Yes.
During the COVID days, post-COVID, and during the COVID, when you go to Europe, there were so many pressure demonstrations on prices of energy, prices of food, all over the place. But sometimes our friends of the NDC, they see these facts and they begin to throw it away. And when they come and say all kinds of things. Because what happened after COVID and during the COVID was not only limited to Ghana. It's happened all over the places. When your mama, His Excellency, goes to Harvard University to go and give lecture about the effect of COVID on less developed countries, he speaks the facts there, but immediately he comes back home. Then the politics starts. The consistency is what we're looking at. So for me, I'm expecting His Excellency the Vice President to tell us how he wants to run this country. That vision, how we can buy into it. You should not look at the attacks that is coming, but you should focus and tell us exactly things that he can ready to do. And about education, about health, Agenda 111, very unprecedented, that every district must have access to health. What adrenaline that is he putting into it? And I also want to appeal to him, the area about taxes. Unfortunately, the capital market is slapped on our face. So the only way that you can generate revenue is through internal, through taxes and all that. But there are some of these taxes that we need to look at it. Because my grandmother tells me, I grew up in Katamanton. Late Henrufe Korte is my grandfather, Mrs. Aneni, that's the late father, my father's uncle. My grandmother would tell you, a Lagosian who sells the same item with a Ghan woman or an Akwawu woman, the rate of turnover of the sale is so faster with the Lagosian than the normal Ghanaian woman, a Ghan woman or Akwawu woman. Because the margin that you've put on that item is so high. And the Lagosian is just something small. So the turnover is very fast. So you see that they sell very fast and very quickly. When you make the tax a bit flexible, people will be willing and able to pay and contribute into it than to raise it up. I want you to look at what he's going to tell us in terms of the taxes. You understand? So that people can really appreciate Because sometimes you must speak and feel for what the people are going through. And I want to see him, what will he going to tell us in terms of tax revenue generation?
But you have no idea yet so far what?
No, I don't have an idea, because that is his script. That is his statement coming to. He's not going to share with anybody until he comes out to tell us exactly what he has. But I can figure out that something about the economy will come, something about digitization will come, something about education, health, transport, every sector of the economy. Job creation is also key in this area, because the youth, they need jobs. And it's not only about white-collar jobs all the time. We need to be creative. And I know there is some monies that are being given out to the youth for job startups and all kind of things. So I think that I wish him well, and we'll be there to give him the full support.
Let me pick Uncle's comments and then Uncle.
Well, to start with, there are some very simple and straightforward lessons in PR management. They are not complicated at all. No, PR practitioners choose the time, they choose the place, they choose the medium, and so on, for various reasons. And this happens more especially in political PR. There are messages that you don't want transmitted to the mass, that you really want to target, because you are not sure of yourself, you don't know how it's going to be received, and so on. So for those kind of messages, you deliver them at times when the people's attention is somewhere else, okay? And you have done PR, so you know what I'm talking about. And then there are some messages that you want everybody to hear.
Nice.
Because you're sure that it's good news,
Yes.
Its impact is going to be huge, and so on. These are common, simple PR lessons. So I'm sitting back. I don't know what Dr. Bawumia is going to say and so on, but I'm watching the PR, of what he's going to say. And one of the first things I realized is that he chose a day on which the AFCON semi-finals are going to be played. Does he want attention? Doesn't he want attention? And if he doesn't want attention, why is it that he's running away from public attention? And if he wants attention, is this the best time to deliver such a message? Because if he wants attention, then clearly there's a PR failure. Complete PR failure. You understand? Now, it's not just that people's attention will be divided and so on. The media houses are also sponsored to carry these football matches and so on. So even finding media houses which will relay this message is going to be a difficulty. You understand? So as an ex-PR practitioner and so on, I looked at the PR and it doesn't look good. The PR doesn't look good at all.
Thank you.
Oh, you're thanking me. The PR doesn't look good at all. Now, the other thing that I think is important, and you do know that the sitting president is somebody that I've known for some time. In fact, I think that I can risk calling him my friend. And I don't like what is being done to him at all. By his own party people. By people around his own vice president and so on. When anything goes wrong, Bawumia then becomes an assistant headmistress. He becomes an aplanque. Then he emphasizes the fact that he's a vice president and not the president. When something goes right, he's the first to claim it. Why are you doing this to Nana Akufo-Addo? What has Nana Akufo-Addo done to you people? This man has led your party and government for 8 years and is about to retire. And all of a sudden, we are all running away from him like a plague. I pity him. I wonder what will happen to him when he's left the presidency. Because even when he's sitting on the seat as president, look at what his people are doing to him. It's most unfortunate, and to a very large extent, I think it is irresponsible to heap all the blame on Nana Akufo-Addo for everybody else to take cover. Now listen to me, my brother. let's take the Aplanke example. Okay. You are an Aplanke on a trotro bus, which is going to Nsawam. Okay? When the bus gets to Caprice Junction, the driver gets down and takes a bottle of hypertension. And the driver comes staggering into the car. Of course, if you're a good Aplanke, you should know that the possibility of all of you on the bus dying before you get to Nsawam is very high. If this Aplanke sits on the bus, does not complain, does not do anything about the circumstances, and the car crashes at Ofanko Junction, what kind of Aplanke is that? Would you give your car to that Aplanke to drive? So this Aplanke business, drop it. Let us assume that what is being said about Vice President Bawumia is true. That he was only a vice president, he was not in the driving seat. As Benton says, he was sidelined. Let us assume that it is true. Okay. Now, let us also take into account the fact that if everything went well, he would not be running away from some of the policies and actions that he have taken. He would have claimed credit, you understand? It is only because some things did not go well that he is docking, you understand? Now, so, and as Benton himself says that, look, the Akufo-Addo administration, the Mahama administration all failed. That is his assessment. Okay. Now, if you have a vice president for 7 years who has been sidelined and things are happening recklessly, okay, and things are not going well and so on, and he continues to sit down as vice president, does not resign, does not protest and so on, would you entrust the destiny of the country into the hands of a vice president who simply doesn't care when things are going wrong? This is just common sense and logic. And you do know that I'm not interested in insulting anybody.
Exactly.
But if you have a vice president for 7 years, he has been sidelined. He comes up with policies which are to be implemented by ministers. The ministers don't do it. What he says, nobody takes, and so on. And he comfortably sits there for 7 years, waiting for 8 years to come, so that we can get rid of his president for him to become president. Is that a good vice president? Tell me. Is that a good vice president that he sat down in all of this? He was sidelined. He gave directions which were ignored and so on for 7 years, in fact, more than 7 years. And then in the end, he turns around and says, yes, I knew things were bad. I could have done something about it. I was sidelined, and I stayed there quietly. I refused to resign. Make me the president, and I'll do wonders. Incredible. Put that aside too, my brother. Put that aside. And listen, very, very carefully. Look, and my brother Titus, I can't blame him. In fact, I couldn't have expected something else from him. This claim that...
The name is Titus Glover.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my brother Titus Glover. My very good brother. He's been my friend for many years, you understand. But listen, he says that when Bahumia's name is mentioned, people panic. Is that true? I've checked all the posters, and I'm sure you have checked. As for him, I cannot assume that he has checked if he thinks that everybody is afraid of Bawumia. He obviously hasn't checked. You understand? But check all the posters, including those who predicted victory for the New Patriotic Party in the 2020 elections, foreign and local. Check. The highest rating Bawumia has gotten from polling is around 38% of total votes. If I lie, tell me. The highest. Some place him as low as 28%. Which election are you talking about? The 2024 elections. If you like, Google Global Info Analytics, which I think is the most credible from my own study of their work, so I think it's the most credible. Google it right now and see the ratings. So how come? Yeah, how come that in the face of these ratings, anybody will panic at the mention of Bawumia? I can't understand. Maybe I'm daft, but I can't understand it. There's no panic. In fact, I will tell you from conversations that I'm having with people around the political circles and inside the political circles, I can tell you for sure that opponents of Bawumia are so very happy that he is the one who was elected as your flag bearer. If somebody else had been elected, I'm sure that there would have been some panic, reasonable panic and so on. By him, they are so very happy that it is him that they are going to contest with. Okay. Now, I think that in all of these discussions, no matter what political party we belong to, it is also important for us to pay some attention to detail and facts. In the 2016 elections, no political party was opposed to free education. None whatsoever. The disagreement was about strategy. And I recall that the National Democratic Congress insisted on the word progressive, which is in the Constitution, and said that yes, they agreed with free education, free SHS, and so on. But it ought to be done progressively. The NPP, on the other hand, said, no, we've come to the point where we have to implement it immediately and at once. You remember? In the final analysis, when the NPP gained power, they implemented free SHS progressively. When they got power, they implemented it progressively, as advocated by the NDC. In any case, let's look at the history of free HSS, which the NPP is claiming. Look, those who drafted the 1992 Constitution, in 1991, decided that this country should have free education at all levels. The NPP had not been formed when that decision was made by the Constituent Assembly. Those who made that decision in the Constituent Assembly, are they NPP members? They are not. The Constituent Assembly in 1991 made a firm decision that we should implement this policy progressively. Okay? From then on, the first political party to advocate free education at all levels and to insist that we do it immediately was the Convention Party, not the Convention People's Party, Convention Party. Go and check the records. Indeed, in the 2000 elections, the Convention People's Party insisted on free education. The NPP had not taken that on board. It was then followed by the Dr. Indo's party, Progressive People's Party, which actually came public with the cost, how much it was going to cost us, how we were going to fund it, and so on. When the NPP announced that it was going for free SHS, and their flag bearer was asked about cost and so on, he did not answer. You remember? He did not answer. He said, no, I'm not going to announce this abroad. I have to go home and consult with my people and so on before I give you an answer. So I think it is disingenuous for anybody to create the impression that without the New Patriotic Party, this country would not have had free education. It is completely disingenuous. The history is clear, and we should not, do what we are doing now. And so, now there's another issue which I find extremely important, and again, it came from my brother Titus Glover. He insists that the Glover must be added, and please, I will add your Glover for you. Listen, Titus Glover says that what Dr. Bawumia is going to say, he is the only person who knows what he's going to say. Nobody else knows that. I hope it's not true. I simply hope that it is not true. First and foremost, he's a party candidate. The party must have an input into policy. He is not a superman. if he's elected, he would only be a president who would depend on the party. He would depend on the ministers he's going to appoint. He would depend on his advisors and so on to be able to carry through these policies. If at the time when these policies are going to be made public, his close associates, his party leadership, nobody knows about the content of what he's going to say, then there's a problem. Then we are going to have some kind of a president who does not engage in consultation. And for me, it's a huge problem. You understand? Now, for those who want to understand the status of His Excellency, Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia, I do not refer them to the NDC, I do not refer them to newspapers and so on. I refer them to his own web page. Master, open his web page. See how he has described himself on his own web page. If you read his web page, he clearly claims that he is in charge of the management of the economy. He's in charge of policy formulation as far as the economy is concerned. He's in charge of the management of the economy. He claims to be in the driving seat of national policy formulation and implementation. Go to his webpage. It's there. Now, how can you describe yourself in those terms on your own webpage, turn around and now look into her face and say, I was only an aplanke, I was not the headmistress, I was the assistant headmistress and so on. How can you do that? Which is true. What is on your webpage? Or what you are telling us, through other means and so on. So, look, we should be clear in our minds. In fact, it is not for us even to be clear in our minds. Dr. Bawumia should be clear in his mind whether he's an aplanke or the driver. He cannot be the driver in the morning, an aplanke in the afternoon, and in the evening, a passenger. He has to define for himself what he is. And from all the statements that have been made by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo at least was honest in many respects. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo looked us in the face, the Ghanaian people in the face, and said, look, I'm a lawyer. I think that I know the law. I've been involved in this country's politics for some time and so on. But I need special skills to manage the economy. And from inference, he was telling us that he didn't have the skills to manage the economy. And so it is for this reason that I have chosen His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia as my Vice President. His sole responsibility is to manage the economy. His sole responsibility is to move us forward. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said these things publicly. He didn't hide them. So clearly, his only mandate was the management of the national economy. And he told us that he was in charge. In many ways, he told us that he was in charge. Why are they claiming now, and he claiming now that he's not in charge? What has happened? Did the car hit a ditch at Ofankor Junction? The car he's driving, did it hit a ditch at Ofankor Junction? What is happening? My brother, look, we may not hold doctorates in economics. We may not be vice president and vice presidential candidates elect and so on. But master, all of us have some gumption. At least we can understand simple English. We all have some gumption, we can understand simple English. Let nobody play with us. Because we will not allow that to happen. Nobody can play with us. You understand? I'm waiting for Dr. Bawumia to speak today. And I will listen. I will listen attentively. I'm hoping that he will say something edifying. I'm hoping that he will say something which will give all of us hope. I'm hoping that he will say something which will make us think again about him and so on. But if he's coming to repeat those same platitudes, and so on, then I worry. And I worry because I have a stake in Ghana, and everybody, 32 million people have a stake in this country. Want to see how this country is going to go. If he's just to come and repeat the same platitudes and so on, he should stop wasting our time. I want to hope. I really want to hope that he will say something which will give all of us some comfort. You know, and this thing has been hyped. My worry is that there's a video which promotes this statement that he's going to make. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes, I have seen it.
And in that video, he's promising a new path, which is very consistent with the claims which have been made that he was sidelined and so on. I really hope that video does not tell the whole story about what is likely to happen. And I wish him well. I wish Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia very, very well. I really wish him well from the bottom of my heart. But because if all of them fail, we are in deeper trouble. So, all of them, I know, so many people want to be president.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Mr. Apalu, oh, he thinks he's won already. Okay?
Kofi Apalu.
Kofi Apalu, he thinks he's won already. In fact, he's actually started calling himself the next president, the president in waiting, and so on. He's entitled to it.
Yes.
You understand? There is Hassan Ayarga.
Yes.
He's entitled to dream big, and so on. Huh? There is Ghana Mantie. Have you heard about that gentleman, Ghana Mantie, the lawyer? He's entitled to dream. There's my good friend Bernard Mona. Huh? He wants to be president. He's entitled to it if he's 40 and above and of sound mind. You know, the list is long. I even suspect that Ivor Greenstreet may throw his hat into the race again. He's entitled to. And that guy who calls himself Nkrumah, what is his name? That's his name.
The New Force.
No, not the New Force. There's some guy who says he's called Nkrumah. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. But then there's the New Force and so on. Why? All of them have a right to dream big.
Yes.
My hope is that all of them would focus on how to take us out of this quagmire of economic deprivation, how to take us out of the claws, of neocolonialism. I am hoping that all of these gentlemen and ladies and women and so on will think big and begin to design mechanisms to ensure that pensioners don't lose their pensions and suffer. I'm hoping that all of these people will focus on the national interest, even far more than they will focus on their political parties. You understand? I mean, recently the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party made a statement which I thought was very interesting.
Kodia.
I'm sure you heard it. The statement in which he said that if he had a choice between Asante Mai and the New Patriotic Party, he would choose Asante Mai. Okay? That's what he thinks. But I think that all of us, if we had a choice between our narrow sectional interest and so on, and the national interest, we should be choosing the national interest. And this is a statement I make from the very bottom of my heart. We should be choosing the national interest. I am disturbed, highly disturbed, that 10 months to a major election such as this one, all you hear is what some people call tribalism, regionalism, pitching one religion against the other, and so on, homeboyism, and so on. It makes me sick. It is the clearest indication that, look, we have missed the path, we missed road.
And all of them will be part of the factors upon which people will vote.
But if people vote on these factors, then people should not turn around in 2025 and complain about rising inflation. Then they should not turn around in 2025 and complain about the fact that their access to health has been limited. If you are voting for somebody because he comes from your region, then when the people of Ghana agree with you and vote for somebody from your region, go to sleep. Don't make any demands again. We should be interested in what happens to the national economy. We should be interested in how to preserve national cohesion. If we are buried in a narrow interest, I'm a Christian, he's a Muslim. I'm a Muslim, he's a Christian. I'm a Dagati, he's a Dagomba, and so on. We will continue to burn in this hellfire of incompetence and degradation.
Yes, kindly indulge me. Let me go on a quick break. I had some questions, but you have ended up answering all the questions. Yes, but so I'll just go on break, and when I come back, I'll now allow you the time. So kindly, if you're watching, this is still Good Morning Ghana. We are live here from our studios at Rage. It's still getting more interesting. Stick and stay with us. We'll be right back.
MTN.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asari.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debt.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampedu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits. Happy smile.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
To help meet your business and private printing needs successfully, we have just the right products and services. At Appointed Time Printing Limited, we specialize in digital printing, offset printing, packaging and security printing. Our innovative designs and complete professional touch on our print products such as posters, flag printing is the solution.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
And you might see.
This advert has been vetted and approved.
You're welcome back from the break. This is still Good Morning Ghana. We are happy to have you watching us this morning. You can send in your comments and your concerns as well. We'll try as much as possible to read them towards the end of the show. Let me acknowledge our sponsors briefly, and then we'll come back into the discussions for the morning. And Game Park Limited says, what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, who's got the mullah got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily. Now, pick up your phones, your tablets and computers and download the Game Park app on Play Store. You can also play on our website. So it's either you download the Game Park Play app or you download the website. The website can be that's a link to the website. It's www.gameparkgames.com, or you can dial *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some more moolah or cash. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. The game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, and it's not for persons under 18. Please play responsibly. Aye Soko. Betway's cash out just got way better. Our enhanced early, partial, and auto cash out feature lets you cash your bets out early. Cash out a portion of your ongoing bets, or even set your bets to cash out automatically. All this to give you way more control over every thrilling bet you place. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. And it's not for persons under 18. Betway gets way more. Now, do you remember, not too long ago, our parents used to brush our teeth with pounded peduncle of plantain. I'm sure you locally know it as body tree, mixed with charcoal. Charcoal has essential medicinal properties that help remove toxins from our bodies. The natural absorptive property of charcoal helps to remove the bacteria that produces bad breath in the mouth, hence giving you a fresh breath. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste has been formulated and produced under strict hygienic conditions with all the necessary production protocols and has been approved by the FDA. Constant use of Kel Charcoal Toothpaste gives you a good fresh breath, whiter teeth, reduces dental plaque, makes the gum healthy and strong, prevents cavity, upset stomach, hangover, and so on. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste is recommended for adults and children from 6 years and above. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for white teeth and fresh breath all day long. This is another quality product from Samara Company Limited. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, happy smile. Now, whoever you are, whatever you do, and wherever you go, drink Angel Cola, Key, or your key to enjoyment. Angel Cooler, love it. Ready for something refreshing, great tasting with excellent flavors? Onya, you've got varieties to choose from. Well, Angel Orange is for that special one. Angel Mango is my choice. Angel Peach is for you to refresh your mood. And Angel Apple Lime is what we call my favorite. Angel Drinks produce vitality and maintain fluid in normal balance. Angel Drinks, refreshing, invigorating, and exciting. Angel Drinks are produced by Adunku Soft Drinks Beverages Limited. Angel Drinks taste like our day. Recommended for all, including children. Contact 0244-832286 and 050-787-8668. And finally, Kingdom Home Real Estate provides quality but affordable housing facilities for sale. Now, our facilities are located at the serene environment of Akwapima, Krupon, and Ebri with the best weather conditions. We are 30 minutes drive from Accra and provide modern touch of comfort. We provide a high standard of security service, plus CCTV, standby generators, constant water supply, and electricity. We are surrounded with lovely tourist sites such as Ebri Botanical Garden, Booty Falls, Safari Valley Resort, and many more. Pay 70% upfront and spread the rest, that's 30%, within 2 years with no interest. Locate us at Ebri Close to Ebri Girls Senior High School and Akropong right after Latte Junction. Call us on 055-976-1144 or 055-5621-611. Visit us at kingdomrealestate.com and all our social media pages. So I still have in the studio Kwesi Pratt, the managing editor of the Inside newspaper, and Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover, the chief executive officer of Valco and former member of parliament for the Tema East constituency. Our topic, which is on the floor, is our expectation and anticipation of the speech of Dr. Bawumia, the vice president, today, what it should encapsulate, and the economy in general. So, Honorable, let me come back to you.
Yes, Big Brother talked about PR and the work that we do, and he's looking at the timing of His Excellency the Vice President's speech presentation to the semi-finals of Cannes 2024. Actually, the date has been picked already. His date for this program has been advertised way back before the semi-finals of this football match. So by and large, it's a good call, it's a good advice, but we'll go and listen and watch him. Those who cannot have the opportunity can come around and take a bite of whatever he's going to tell us. You asked me a question, whether I'm privy to the statement that he's coming to say.
Yes.
And I said no.
Yes.
And Big Brother went wild to say that he's going to be shocked if Dr. Bawumia, a speech that he's going to make, people are not making input or by extension have no role to play in his speech, particularly our party, New Patriotic Party. Every year, such an important broadcast like this, for a work to be done, it is not only him who does this work. You need to generate the data. You need to do some research. You need to get some information. Everybody. So at the end of the day, a lot of people have been involved for him to come up with what he's going to tell us this evening. So Kwesi should not think that the vice president, it's a one-man show. You know what I mean? That he's going to come out to tell us his vision without the involvement of other people, of information that he has given. It's not so. And look, because I'm not privy does not mean that people have not contributed to the information that he's going to tell us. He's going to run on the ticket of the party. So the party directly will have a say, will give an input, what they expect him to tell the people of this country. So Kwesi, just rest assured, and I want to take your word that it is something that he has thought through, he has worked around it. There are people, institutions who have all contributed to whatever he's going to share with us this evening. Nobody has denied the president or jettisoned the president to be on his own. In fact, MPP, we are blessed and privileged to have Nana Akufo-Addo as our president. Nobody. And we are proud. He knows how close I am with him. That nobody will jettison the president and say that because he's leaving power, so we don't want to associate ourselves with him. No. We're still far from that. Whether good or bad, we are with President Akufo-Addo. And Kwesi is saying that because he's an aplanke, and if he feels that things are bad, why didn't he leave and resign and go? This problem that we inherited and we saw, it is not, what do you call it? A Ghana problem alone. It is a global crisis that we all suffered. So how can the Vice President Bawumia resign and leave? In fact, he is one of those candidates, the presidential candidate. When you listen to some of the comments that were passing, the one who has been so bold enough to own up and appreciate the challenge that the president and the government has found themselves in this economy, that he speaks to defend. So how can we say that he wants to take himself out of it? He has been part of the team. Whether good or bad, he's part of it. He appreciates the challenges that we find ourselves in. So under no circumstance would the vice president leave the president on his own. Under no circumstance. In fact, he will be there to the end of his term to make sure that the success that they have chalked together will all go and applaud them. So nobody should take that away from him. Nobody. And we'll continue to support the president because he is still a sitting president. Whether good or bad, we are with Nana Akufo-Addo. So nobody should sit here and think that we have tried to dissociate ourselves from President Akufo-Addo for the things, the challenges that he's going through. No, the president himself has owned up a couple of times. The vice president has said a couple of times. So those of us who speak for government will continue to support the two of them. Because it's on the record of President Akufo-Addo that Bawumia is going for the elections. Every year, am I lying? It is on the success of President Akufo-Addo. And he has done well in this circumstance. He has really done well. So there's no way that we want to say anything negative against President Akufo-Addo for what he has done. Then come to the issue about free SHS. Kwesi tried to go back to history to tell us MPP is not the first person to talk about free SHS. We agree. We agree. Whether it is start from the days of Adam, those who initiated it, who brought the idea for free SHS. But we are proud as a party and government led by Nana Akufo-Addo. Because when he was talking about this free SHS, people did not believe him. The constitutional provision is talking about progressively. We agree about it. But you need somebody with that courage, that boldness, that will stand on his feet and say, look, I don't want to go by progressively. I will go straight to the point. And when the challenges are coming up, it will help me to shape the course of the free SHS that he has brought to this country. So when people were making adverts, paying money, the NDC, all over the country, free education for what? Did you remember? Every year, when in this country, when the NDC paid adverts that school free education is 419, that people should not buy into it. They thought they were doing us. Today, NDC children are enjoying the free SHS even more than any Ghanaian. They're enjoying free SHS more than any Ghanaian in this country. It tells you that that idea that Nana brought, it's a very great idea. And today, we are gradually building human capital of our country. Look at investments in education. Look at investment in education. I traveled when I was going for the national organizer. You see the STEM schools. I saw one in Abuja. My goodness. Classrooms, science laboratories, dormitories, teachers' bungalows, library, dining hall, huge. I got to Awaso in Western North. I saw it. I went to Northeast, Masengbe. I saw it. You see the investment in education in all these areas. This is a way I would drive our country. So I'm very proud of investment that we have done in education, particularly under the free SHS. We are not ended. There are still challenges There are few problems. But so long as it's there and the vice president is taking over from the president, it is his duty that he also come with some idea that will help us to propel the success that we have chalked in the free SHS for the development of this country. So, Kwesi, the fact that MPP we did not own up from the beginning, but we are proud to say that, yes, indeed, we've been able to put our feet down to make sure that this has come to solve a huge problem that parents have been going through. Look, there was a guy in Tema when I was MP. My alma mater, Presec. The boy passed. He wanted to go to school. I wasn't first step MP. The mother was in a taxi crying because the son wanted to hang himself because the mother has no money. He has no money to take this girl to school. My regional secretary, Udala Paka, he brought this woman to me in my office in Tema. At that time, there was no free SHS. It is the support of the common fund that we support. So let us appreciate what the Lenado's government and Dr. Bawumia has done when it comes to education. We are so proud. For the legacy that is one thing that we can remember Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia is the free SHS. Your mama should tell me what should he can remember it for. He should tell us. So clearly, we are praying that this evening, His Excellency should come and tell us something that will gladden our hearts, something that will move this country. And I'm happy because he talked about tribalism and tribal politics in our country. Look, I'm a Ghanaian, right? But I can trace my roots to Volta region. My mother's father, the grandmother, is from Jalukope. I can trace my roots to Nigeria. My father's grandfather established himself in Calabar. So there's a Titus Grover family in Nigeria. This is where my great-grandfather went to establish himself. When you go to Calabar today, there's a Titus Grover house right there. Married a Nigerian woman. And the way sometimes we, the politicians, they will want to preach hatred among tribes. And here, I want to mention Fifi Kweti again. Did you hear what he talked about NDC, Ewe, and MPP, Ashanti? Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? That 2024 elections is going to be based between NDC, Ewe, and MPP, Ashanti. And who told you that there are Ewes who are not MPP? And there are Ashantis who are not NDC? When you go to Kumasi today, there's a suburb of Kumasi called Angolonga. It is noted for the creativity of the Voltarians in that enclave of the Ashanti region, in Kumasi. Because they are good carpenters, they are good creators. Why? You create all these things. You remember Shantini invited Awumefia in 2021 because he died? He was there. In 2022, Awumefia invited Shantini to reciprocate in the Agbetutu. What are they doing? They are promoting the culture and the togetherness of our tribes. Right. We should be very mindful the kind of politics that the NDC, you know what the kind of politics they do? They do tribal politics, religious politics, and all that. Trying to pitch camp against one another. When the boomerang comes, we can't contain it. It is something that we don't need to promote as a country. We are one unity state. Dr. Nkrumah brought these boardinizations in schools just to bring children from all walks of life. So we're able to build our culture together. But you look at the NDC, the kind of politics that they are doing, tribal politics, religious politics, it's not going to help anybody.
Right.
What about the politics which says that, look, I'm from the north, and that the north deserves the presidency? Is that not the same kind of politics?
Bawumia is not from the north. It's not because he's from the north. It's because we believe he has the capacity.
Is that not the same kind of politics?
Please.
The kind of politics which says that I'm going to unite Christians and Muslims.
Did you hear that from me?
No, of course.
Did you hear from Bawumia himself?
Of course.
If somebody is making some comments somewhere,
when there's no conflict between Christians and Muslims in our country, everybody should stop that kind of politics.
Right.
That kind of politics is not in the best interest of our country.
Tafa in Amrahia says, question, please ask Honorable Titus Glover if he said NDC members were the only people who were scared of the DMB. Then what about their own national organizer, Nanabi, who openly complained of hardship messages he's receiving from their own party members. Honorable Titus Glover, no amount of lectures will help you guys this time. Go finito. Eugene Ishon Elliott from Asalam Down says, Akwesi, good morning. Please correct our senior brother Titus on the mischief. Kofi Bento did not say he prefers Bawumia to Mahama. He only sought to say that Bawumia was not the president and so be given a chance to chart his own path. Let me come in here. Okay. Mark from USA. Good morning, my brother. Mark sends me duties of the vice president. The duties of the vice president of Ghana are presiding of various meetings in absence of the president, acting president when the president is out of the country. The modern vice presidency is a position of significant power and is widely seen as an integral part of a president's administration. While the exact nature of the role varies in each administration, most modern vice presidents serve as a key presidential advisor, governing partner, and representative of the president. This is coming in from Mark in the United States of America. Malik Adam. Good morning, Akwesi. If the vice president said he will replace textbooks to laptops for basic education, whilst 5 to 6 years common textbooks have not been supplied to basic schools, teachers who were promised of the same laptops and even deducted from their salary didn't receive them. 2, if he stands on a platform at Cape Coast and said categorically that they are building harbor, meanwhile nothing is happening, and many more. Based on these scenarios, can I call the vice president? Malik Adama sent in that one. Good morning, Akwesi. It's obvious Dr. Bawumia has no scintilla of integrity left in him. Why force Jack Toronto's Kid Raw on us? The truth of the matter is Bawumia is always in bed with President Akufo-Addo. So if Akufo-Addo failed, he's a failure too. Should he be a different breed? We shouldn't see him act in the opposite direction in terms of his utterance and demeanors. He's the mastermind behind the cataclysmic collapse of the economic sector in the country. Upon assumption of office, our economy keeps experiencing cyclical downward spiral. This one came from Lexis Bowen. Kemi sent in that one. Okay. Akwesi, good morning. We have to be careful on how we handle media men or journalists in this country. Officialdom should be tolerant because not all journalists can please you. From Alhaji Haruna in Ashaiman, the flag bearer against the wish of some. Okay, again, the MPP lost from day one when Bawumia was made the established candidate to lead the NPP. Alhaji Haruna sent in that one. Kwesi Reynolds in Aguna Odobin says, as Mr. Kofi Bentel of Imani Ghana posited, let's give Dr. Bawumia a fair hearing. His performance as vice president has been excellent, even though COVID-19 and other global issues challenged the economic foundations of Ghana and the world at large. His digitalization drive will surely reform the fortunes of the country and make the country a better place. Kwesi Reynolds in Aguna Odobin sent in that one. Good morning, Kwesi. What is Kwesi Pratt talking about? He believes in Mahama should be heard, but Bawumia shouldn't. David Obriyabua says, such crass hypocrisy is nauseating. A man who has occupied every position in Ghana still thinks he's the only sensible man to rule Ghana. Isn't Mr. Mahama, who said 4 years is not enough to do anything meaningful as a government? In the unlikely event he wins this election, how many years does he have to govern? Mr. Mahama says he won't pay teachers and nursing trainee allowances. Is he ready to pay now? Even him, Mr. Mahama, Kwesi Pratt thinks he has some credibility left in him. We live to see who is more credible. Mr. Pratt should spare us. If Mr. Mahama couldn't do anything better after 4 and have wasted years, what can he possibly do? David Obri Yabua, Dom Kwabinya sent in that one.
Hold on there.
Yes, sir.
The things this guy is attributing to me, did I say them? You are the best guy. Did I say them? You sit in your house and dream up statements and attribute them to me. Jesus Christ.
So, okay. I'll come back to this. So, producer has just sent me a message. I'm rounding up, but let me pick just two more messages. Prince Henry says, Dr. Bawumia must talk about when he will pay NAPCO trainees, national service personnel, who have completed service this year, and toll booth workers who haven't been paid today. Not as usual talkathon, which will lead us to anything, which will not lead us to anything profitable. Dr. Bawumia is a disappointment to the MPP, Ghana and beyond. John Mahama 24-hour economy is away. Prince Henry in Koforidua sent in that one. So lots of messages. Good morning, Akwasi. Please correct senior bro titles. Okay, I've read this already. You sent it also on SMS. Good morning, Akwasi. It is clear that Dr. Bawumia is the NDC's nightmare, and tell Uncle Pratt that the presidency is not of deck, that he wants us to try former president again. Dr. Bawumia is far better than JDM, comparing the two. Maxwell Chelimbalim from Talensi sent that one. Even when the vice president hasn't spoken yet, Yanum are pontificating. Maxwell Chelimbalim again. Kofi Sika says, please, will Dr. Bawumia answer his 170 questions today? Will at least say something about e-levy and the debt exchange with its associated cruel haircuts. We shall be grateful if he did that today. Kofi Sika sent in that one. Prince Henry. Okay, Prince Henry is here again. And Tredo says, good morning, Efri, and to your charity viewers. Dr. Bawumia has failed lamentably to inspire the confidence in Ghanaians as the chairman of the economic management team. He has run out of ideas. The 24-hour economy is real. Let's vote for JDM. Trails sent in that one. And okay. Okay, let me come back to from my producer. So, Honorable Titles, this one is to you. The General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress is watching us, and he's not happy about your mention of him on the allegation, because he's responded. He says he's responded to.
Oh, read. Let me respond to him.
No, it's from the producer, but I've been sent copies of him dismissing the allegation carried out by Daily Graphic, and I'll read that for you. I'm trying to open that so that I read a copy of. Okay, I have it here. So on the 22nd day of January 2024, Daily Graphic Online says NDC General Secretary dismisses tribal allegations. It says the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Fifi Kwete, has said allegations of him making tribalistic comments at a recent NDC retreat in the Volta region is a deliberate attempt by the NPP to tarnish his reputation and manipulate public perception. This comes after a video circulating on social media that appeared to show him making divisive remarks about Ashantis and the West during the retreat. Refuting the claims in a statement, he said the NPP's adoption of divisive strategies involving religion and tribal politics reflected a sense of desperation, and added that their reliance on deception and distortion suggests a belief that these tactics are the only means to cling to power. He added that the NPP's allegations lacked truth and were calculated efforts to exploit political circumstances. These, quote, these accusations not only lack merit but also are a deliberate attempt to tarnish my reputation and manipulate public perception. Despite these base and vile efforts, Ghanaians will stand united regardless of tribe and religion. Divisive tactics will continue to fail, unquote. He expressed his commitment to remain steadfast towards a united and prosperous Ghana. He further urged well-meaning Ghanaians to discern the desperation of the NPP and treat such publications with disdain they deserved. So this is the statement as carried by the Graphic Online. I'll give you 1 minute and then
every year
we close.
We are sitting at somewhere. Nobody put gun on Fifi Kweti's head to spew all those things that he said about Ashantis and Akans. We all saw what went wrong. And I expect him to do something better. Nobody put gun on his head to be promoting that tribal and Ashanti and Ewe NDC MPP.
He says that's not him.
That's not you. Was he not the one who was talking? So please, I will plead with him. And all these attacks that is going around talking about. Just yesterday I was flipping through my phone. Look, this work that we do, people have things that they will say. But we have to promote some discipline among ourselves. If I disagree with my elder brother Kwesi here, does not mean I should be calling names and insulting, describing all kinds of names. If we extend the same thing to Joe Mama, would they be happy? Calling the vice president names, so many adjectives. You should be very careful. If these are the ones to descend the politics, there are people who respond to him in that manner. But for me, I'm not going that route with him. I'll tell him that he's a colleague. But that style of politics is not helping. That's the way advice I'll give him.
Daniel Kwate Titus Glover is the Chief Executive Officer of VALCO and former Member of Parliament for the Tema East constituency. Kwesi Pratt Jr. is the Managing Editor, the Insight newspaper. Don't go away. We are still here. We'll relieve them, but that's when the fine boy comes through with some news on social media and what exactly is trending. So we'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back. Stay with us.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
So Desmond comes straight into the studio and begins to ask me a question that he wants to put across on air. I'm still contemplating whether he's able to ask a question or not. So we are still live on Good Morning Ghana, and this is the time for trends with the finest here at Metro TV. He goes by the name Desi the Fine Boy. Jason, you're welcome. So you still want to go ahead and ask?
I'll ask our viewers.
Well, let's see.
Good to see you, Chairman.
Right, good to see you. It's been a while. I think, yeah, the whole year.
Yeah.
I haven't. Yeah.
Anyway, this morning, that's all I can say. But you know what? Please stand by Adjo Safo for me, because looks like I'll have to do the national pledge and see where we have to add the he or the she to it. But anyway, let's begin from the Harmattan, because Charlie, the weather is some way, right? And it's being said that Accra is polluted, of course, by the IQ. Accra is the most polluted city in the world, and according to the statistics as they have it. And so the weather is really some way. So you see a lot of cold here and there. So please protect yourself. Very, very important. A lot of people are sharing their thoughts about it on social media about the weather. Is some way, a lot of dryness in the atmosphere and all that. So there you have it on the screen. The quality of air in Accra, unhealthy Accra. This one says those who don't like applying pomade to their skin, the Harmattan weather is exposing you. Okay, that's from Alcantara. Elombini says if you laugh, sneeze or yawn too hard, the Harmattan will fit tear your lips, Charlie. Don't be sure. Miss Foster says, I don't care what anyone says. No way is this Harmattan. It has to be pollution, because what's this, Charlie? Don't be sure. The Harmattan be crazy. Go see road safe. Yeah, I think that I don't know. We're coming to work, Charlie. So please, let's be mindful of that and protect ourselves from the weather. You could wear some nose mask, or you could, drinking lots of water. Very, very important. Now, away from that, guys, a professor is trending. Professor Twumasi of the National Sports Authority. Aye! And the rest of judges is behind him, the Public Accounts Committee. Yesterday, he said before the committee, and a lot of questions were asked. Charlie, the answers and the thing they good here. This one says that Professor Twumasi has overstayed at the NSA, or as the NSA boss, but it is Akufo-Addo who appointed him. So no, yeah. Charlie. People vex. And my boss, Asante Foucault, says that as Professor Twumasi still the Director General of the National Sports Authority, the sinking of Ghana sports is more than we think, based on what I saw yesterday at Park. Citizen Supremo says these three, the Minister, NSA boss, Chief Accountant, must go serve a term in prison. And yeah, those are some of the thoughts coming in. Charlie, you followed it yesterday?
I didn't, but I did on social media later on.
Yeah.
I couldn't follow the live feed, but eventually I scanned through all portals, social media and news portals before I get to bed every evening. So yeah.
The other big thing also has to do about Stone Boy's event at the stadium. Well, I've heard a lot of accounts saying that he didn't necessarily say that he was. They received 70,000 CDs. He said that some say 70,000 is for the cover of the picture and all that. But Stone Boy's manager in an interview has also said that, well, they paid more than 70,000. I mean, they're mentioning figures around 165,000 Ghana cedis and all of that. So Professor Twumasi is in the trend, Charlie. Man for saying one in consign, because everyone the minister too is under fire. That if you want to give punishment to the Central Regional Director of the NSA, how do you say you are transferring into Accra? Is that a punishment?
It is. At certain levels, it could be in the
transferring into head office.
Yes, without portfolio, you would come and stay there without.
Okay. So for now, the Auditor General has been called in to go audit the NSA, because the discrepancies and what the sports journalists are saying, they are also about Professor Twumasi there. But today we are going to do the national pledge. Let me see if I remember. The pledge. I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. I pledge. You know what? So
myself to the service of Ghana. Continue.
With all my strength and with all my heart.
I promise to uphold
in high esteem.
In high esteem.
Our heritage won for us.
Through
the blood and toil of
our fathers.
Our fathers, or is it our mothers? Of
course. Okay, so you may want to add it.
Through the blood
but it's
and
important that we get to know these things because people watch us, people listen.
Oh, but I go to do
okay, sure.
So we can start again.
So if you are not able to do it, you can put it into the song. I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my mother. I played myself. Well, the voice is bad.
Hey, these people, assembly, they were the ones starting in front too.
I was a senior prefect, so I mean, what
you
else
get it? You get it. So if you haven't heard, Adjoa Safo says that it is insensitive that there's no mother. We are saying only forefathers. Meanwhile, the things we say to Ghana, my motherland, the people too say that to Ghana, my fatherland. Listen to what she said in Parliament.
It talks about the toil, through the toil and blood, through the blood and toil of our fathers. The speaker, it omits mothers. The speaker, their mothers also toiled for this country. Mr. Speaker, I think that it is gender insensitive. This country, when we are even making reference to the country, we call it our motherland. But when it comes to the pledge, and we're referring to the toil, and we're referring to the fight, the struggles, we omit that of our mothers. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention to it. And we have to look at it again as a country so that we become more gender sensitive when it comes to our national flag.
Then, I promise my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my father, motherland. Then we'll go to the forefathers, they will do forefather mothers, because we have to slash and put all the hey Anthony. Yesterday Parliament resumed sitting, and that was what happened in the House of Parliament. Lots of people have shared their thoughts about it. I'll share that with you later, but I don't have so much time. So today, finally, as we go, we're talking about love in the air. Today, a week from today, is Vows Day. Those who have partners, those who don't have, like Jennifer, people who be given.
Do you have?
Do
you have?
Question. Like, I'll get some. I'll get the gift. So we're asking that. We want to give you, a special treat with your partner. So we're asking a simple question: how did you meet your partner? How did you meet your partner? Let us know. Send us a 1-minute video telling us how you met your partner. It needs to be very exciting, like nice one, because we're going to make selections and choose the best, and a number of them also to take these gifts that we were talking about. So how you met your partner, you could send a 1-minute video, or you could write a letter. You could write it and send it to the WhatsApp number on your screen as you see right now, and we'll go through all of that. So you could win yourself a weekend stay at a hotel. Yes, you could also win yourself a romantic dinner night and some tickets to Uncle Obo White, Vows Day play. That's next week. So please make sure that you send that in, and then you could be a part of it. It's Ignite Media Metro TV Love in the Air. So join in, share with us where you met your partner. Someone said, "Oh, share the partner or trotro." Now you feel free to know. And I be saying, "Some pocho tissue." That was how it started. Shouts are growing.
My friend who works in the Jubilee House, that me, says he met his wife at somebody's wedding. And when he was dancing and saw the lady dancing, he said, "No, this is my wife.
This is my wife."
And in 6 months they got married.
Hey, Charlie. But when you know when you are sitting there, yeah, so just send that in and let's have a good time. We'll be choosing the winners. Friday is the last day, right? So you've got 2 more days to send that in. We'll put all of them together and choose the winner, right? So that's it for the trends today. My name is Desi the Star Boy, and I'll be back tomorrow.
Right, thank you very much, Desi the Star Boy. So that does it for the show today, but let me do this one quickly. Nana Ama Adobia Nkrumah. You work with Ghana Gas. It's your birthday today, a special birthday. Happy birthday to you. Of course, for myself, the entire your colleagues at Ghana Gas sent this in, and you are my good friend too. And then Krobia Kwabna Asante, you work with the Vice President as well, and this is coming in from myself, especially, and my boss, Kofi Ba Ajepon, of the Youth Employment Agency. To you, Krobia Kwabna Asante. We say that have a very good one today, and may the Almighty God bless you. And good morning to you, Dr. Obri Crime from the Ghana Law School. It's not your birthday, it's just a good morning to you. My name is Kwesi Afia, sitting for Dr. Randy Abe. Thank you very much for watching and sending in your messages. It's for God and country. We meet tomorrow. Good morning.
Good Morning Ghana is brought to you by MTN.